Hey, and welcome to the series. My name's Nando, and today we're going to be trying to do our second episode of walkthroughs for Fallout 4 as we do the now so redundant Sanctuary run, as in trying to get into the root cellar and the rooftops and a few other nooks and crannies to get a bunch of crafting materials for the early stages of the game. Good thing of note, there are 3 gold bars in here. You want to try and make sure that when you press T to get rid of all your junk at the workshop that you come back and get these gold bars, because they are very useful when it comes to trading with caravans and the such, and does allow you to get some very useful pieces of scrap and or interesting bits of weaponry and armor early on in the game, because I think each bar gives you an extra 1 to 300 caps just for selling it. So it's really useful to sell gold bars because I don't think many things require gold in your inventory to craft. So that is another thing you can keep track of. Another thing is you can come up here, and sometimes there will be a different set of ammunition depending on, I think, luck, skill, and a few other things. We have a pipe pistol that we're going to hold on to just in case we find a pipe auto pistol, and we can just switch out the receivers. I think we may or may not find a pipe rifle that we can modify as well, but here we're just going to pretty much check some requirements for some things we might want for future upgrades, and then upgrade the receiver to, I believe, the shotgun and the 10mm, mainly because I think these are the highest damage dealing things in our arsenal at the moment. In hindsight, I probably should have just avoided the shotgun altogether and went all out pistol like I usually do, but I figured the shotgun with 2-shot enemies, sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. It's really inconsistent, but that's it for that run in Sanctuary. Just going to take a quick sidetrack over here. We're going to round this rock to try and grab the stim packs in this safe down here. Just a few extra meds as well as some extra ammo, and I think another pistol in here as well. And then while we're out here, we're going to see if we can take some pot shots at these bloatflies. Nope, this is about the aim point you would pick if you had Weapons of Fate installed, but I do not. So the center of where the bullets go is a little bit different than where the iron sight suggests sometimes. So me trying to figure out whether or not it's just the random spread or me just straight missing kinda does get in the way of things as we collect some stuff from the blowflies and then get irradiated by a radiated thistle just sitting out in the open. You do need to be careful of that. That can catch you out and give you quite a bit of hefty radiation damage, if I can actually speak English. But quick tip that you do get to see right now: you always want to dump all your useless items into a container of some sort, whether that be the connected workshops or just a container that you own, just so A, you don't lose it, and B, it's not cluttering your inventory, because you start out with about 135 carry weight, which isn't a hell of a lot. You can get more by having the strong back perk or having the learn wanderer perk. If you stack them both, you get a ton. But for now, we're dealing with 135 until we level up. So we're going to speak to Dogmeat just to trigger these mole rats to spawn, and they only spawn once you start doing stuff in the workshop. And we're also going to loot a few of these areas just to get some extra crafting materials. We're also going to show you a few points of noteworthy locations to grab a few things that you can also sell. When you come around this corner, there's a hot plate over by that water machine off to my right there, and there are also those cigarettes that you saw me pick up. And I think once you come into the next room on our right over here, random loot spawns in every one of these containers sometimes. And there was one time I played through, there was a bottle of either Radix or Day Tripper on top of that thing. So you always kind of want to look out for those things as we just scrap a few things to get some more crafting materials for weapons. And I think on the final tire, they start spawning the mole rats in. So I'm a little bit late trying to get out of the menu here, but I get one of them right off the rip with the first shot, but I just miss. I just freaking Leonard Church all of the rest of my bullets. So I do have a bit of trouble trying to do close range shots with the 10mm in the base game, but I think I make it up right here where I just start landing all of the shots all of a sudden. I jump right over his bite right there. Some of the melee attacks kind of go past their distance, so it's hard to gauge whether or not you can dodge them or not, but I did happily get away with that one. I'm I'm pretty happy with that little flick shot jump right there, but checking all the mole rats for the meat and the leather. I don't think their bone really gives you too much, but the meat and the leather is very important for armor crafting and or food, so you can utilize those two as well. You're then going to come into this room and just start building up shop. I'm going to scrap all the materials over here, even the terminal, because I've already read the lore on it. If you want to check out the lore, you can also check out the, I think, Fallout 4 wiki, as well as I think there might be a short on the Oxhorn's channel for the lore of this place. I haven't checked yet, but I do tend to watch his videos as I go to sleep. They're very, very good watches, especially because his voice isn't off-putting. Not off-putting at all. We're going to sleep here and take our first save because I don't feel like killing all the mole rats again. And if we die, we didn't really lose that much progress. You'll find that most of your sleeping will come from just not wanting to backtrack an hour rather than I need to keep my adrenaline. Although you still will have those times, it's pretty much less important that you have adrenaline and kind of more important that you have a save point, because the likelihood of you dying from a random spawn as you get higher in level does get fairly high, as we're going to clear our inventory again. I think we get to about 57 carry weight by the end of this, just getting rid of random food items and the like. And right after this bit, we're going to end up going down into the tunnels to see if we can grab some extra loot for weapons and armor and a few other things. I know there's a fusion core down here as well for our power armor users. However, I usually don't go down there until I get the power armor, just so that I save on the amount of radiation damage I end up taking, because there's a lot of radiation over there, and 2 or 3 Rad-X doesn't necessarily get it away. You also want to grab that hard hat off the fridge, as it does give you extra head protection just in case the AI land up hits on your head, like repeated hits. I've been shot with a 4-round burst in the head at higher levels in this game when I first started playing, and it's absolutely absurd. At the ranges AI can pull that off without Weapons of Fate installed, and even with Weapons of Fate installed, they can actually pull off some really good shots that you'll never expect in a million years. We're going to head into the mole rat den. You always want to enter this crouch walk because that gives you the opportunity to do a little something like this. Get a free kill once you enter the room, and you can just line up shots for days on the other two. And then the third one is out of range and will not hear you even if you have 0 sneak. And that is the great thing about crouch walking into certain areas. Like, you at the very least are guaranteed around double damage once you walk in. Now, I do realize that I forget that power relay coil, and that's just a good PSA to leave on to say, always, make sure you grab everything out of the loot chest. I was kind of in a rush because I knew I was doing a video for this, so I was kind of just speed looting everything, which I do tend to miss stuff. I'm only human. You can only get so far with this. This next one, I think I missed the sneak attack, but I do manage to get him, and then I do manage to stop the mole rat before it ends up burrowing and ends up behind me and possibly giving me a disease, as we're going to take the glowing fungus because that's used to create antibiotics. I forget the whole recipe to it, though. We're also going to finish trying to loot the rest of this cave. Always want to try and get into as many safes as you can to get all the ammo that you can. It's the main use of these things for me, at the very least. And we're going to go on back toward the red rocket to try and get rid of all of these extra loot items, grabbing some Rexo cleaner for the fiberglass over there. It's pretty cool. So here I think we attempt to modify the shotgun once again, or one of the pistols. I think I give this a glow sight. That's exactly what I do. Put a glow sight on the pistol and it nope, just a glow sight. Just so that I have an accurate aim point to actually use this thing on. And we also put on a hardened receiver. I'm remembering this all backwards. I do apologize. I even have a script right there. This thing's flipping useless. But the whole philosophy of this playthrough is pretty much just trying to be maximizing carry weight so we can carry as much stuff as we possibly can. And here you can do a little bit of a sneak dodge, or a sneak to cover, and try and take out these blood bugs, which are pretty low level, so they should be easy as long as you can line up the shot. I know for the VATS users, sometimes this can be a bit of a headache. I understand, because I think I played 3 on console, and anything that no, I played 3 and New Vegas on console, and anything that was flying was just the biggest headache in a million years if you didn't have a VATS build. I can tell you that much right now. But I'm gonna just loot this building for mainly the bobby pins, the Nuka-Cola Quantum, and the drugs, because the drugs and the Nuka Quantum are very useful health and or defensive items that you can grab very early on. And we're gonna round this corner to see if we can grab this hub flower right here. Yes, I did miss the first one on purpose. And we can also loot this building for more items, more money, and then some more health items. As you can see, there is a suitcase over here with a Vault-Tec lab coat. Some of the clothing items I do take and save for later. Pompadour rig gives you about 2 extra charisma, so that is always useful.
Got it.
And this safe has randomly generated loot in it. I kind of get a little upset when I see there's a glow-sided pistol in that safe, because I just made one and I could have just saved on all of the nuclear material I just used. But once we're done here, we're just going to flank around the conquered city to see if we can grab some of the extra containers here. Sometimes Nuka-Cola machines and things of the like have extra stuff in them. Desks fans are always great to look for because they have extra screws and gears. But we're going to come around the left side of the city, and we're going to see if we can crouch into a good enough position to hit one of these raiders, because they're going to be focused on the house, and they're not really focused on the left. In fact, they'll walk left looking toward the house instead of you even after they're hit. So lining this up with glow sights helping me was difficult. And then I realized that when I was trying to track them with glow sights in post that I just wasn't doing it properly. So I was just straight up missing these guys. So I get closer, try to hit a few of them, and I think I succeed on killing one of them. And then the second one goes down to Preston Garvey because I keep missing. And I think I grab the third. No. Second one goes down, and the third one goes down to Preston Garvey because I think he nails either a chest or a headshot. I do forget which one. But that guy goes down, and then we go for the melee guy, and here is where I say maybe I should have snuck to try and hit him, because he immediately throws a Molotov when we have no armor on, so that might have insta-killed us had that actually landed. But we did end up completing the quest, and we did get a free Molotov cocktail, so that's always good. In the meanwhile, we do have a perk point to spend as we try and loot these raiders' bodies to try and get as much ammo as we can, as well as grabbing an automatic pipe pistol just to help out. But here is the next building we're going to try and loot, just so that we have a few extra things to spare. On our level up, we're going to actually take more carry rate by stacking the strong back perk with Lone Wanderer. So I think we get up to, at the very least, very, very close to 200, if not at least 30 points over it. And we're just grabbing all of the circuitry and everything, even that's not of use, out of this building, just to take back to Red Rock and store it. There is a set of drugs up here. You always want to take it because it usually has either Psycho or Med-X, which is very useful for the Deathclaw fight on survival, because with the Psycho you will save more bullets in your minigun, which you can then use for another fight later if you choose so to do with your power armor suit or whatever you want to use it with. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just a host here. Then we also have this church that you can try and loot a pipe rifle from. Sometimes this is a bolt action rifle. This is the first time in a long time I've actually taken the rifle, because the bolt action rifle is effectively useless. The pistol's not bad, but the rifle is effectively useless. You're better off using a hunting rifle. So we're going to go back through the town and try and scavenge some things that are just outside. I always open every one of these because some of them have a goodie and some of them are luck-based, and it gets really confusing. But this house is also really, really influential most of my playthroughs because there's more drugs, and it gives you a chance to look outside and see what that NPC area spawns without risking yourself too much. If they see you, they're not immediately going to run to the house, so that's always a goodie. This raider always typically has a pipe bolt action rifle with a scope on it. If for those users who want to utilize that round very early on, you can do that. And there's always a safe up here, so you can grab some extra loot items as well, such as ammo, bullets, grenades, things of the nature. Some of these safes even have pre-war money, which is also useful as well. but as per the gold bars and everything, you do have to make sure that you double check your workshops, that you didn't put it all in the workshop so they can use it as crafting materials. I do kind of freak out once this guy gets a little bit closer, but take him out pretty easily. Job done. Got the coffee cup. We're all good. So I think that's going to wrap it up for this segment in the series. The last part is just me rating this general area, which is kind of a treasure trove for some early game loot to kind of help you move forward along with the ammunition and medicine department. As you can see, we've got a bunch of weapons in our inventory as well as a bunch of junk. But you tune in next time. We should be starting out further kind of pretty much delving into the area and finding a few more loot items that we can attempt to get into, to the very least, make it easier once we do finally enter the Museum of Freedom and free Preston Garvey for all of those free XP points. Also has some pretty good loot over there too, but it's been Nando, it's been real, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.